Good morning, rise and shine. Today is Thursday, camping day 4. We got here on Monday. I am gonna say that yesterday's video probably was like 3 or 4 minutes long, and it might have ended abruptly because I did not do an outro. But I'm going to say, because I haven't edited the videos yet since I'm not back home, that the last thing you likely saw was me saying that it was going to rain. And that's exactly what happened. It rained a whole lot. And during that time frame between like 6 p.m. and 8 p.m., we did one of those virtual, I was going to say mystery room, virtual escape room. We did a Disney villains themed virtual escape room, and we did that from about 6 to 8 p.m. and then rested for a little bit, decided to take a late night trip over to Walmart to get a few things. And the closest Walmart to here, this is a very little town slash island, was about 30 minutes away. So we did that, came back, had some food, watched the rest of one of the movies, and then went to bed. So you didn't miss too much, because a lot of it would have been background rain and wind, and you probably wouldn't want to hear that. Anyway, right now, on my way to actually get some other food, there's this place called Asian Express, which has Chinese food. And so that is the plan currently for lunch. And the reason being, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, is that when it's super windy, it's hard to keep the coals going for our charcoal grill. And we haven't used the butane cooktop yet. But the plan is to cook later this evening. And for, I guess I'm gonna say lunch and dinner, because this actually is not breakfast time. This is more like 11:15, 11:20-ish. But so far, so good today. Let me sit down. I'm gonna sit down, because I just got to the front. But so far, so good. Last night, that wind was out of control. I think we read that it was about 15 miles per hour, which is a lot, and being in a tent, it feels like a lot, just like the breeze and stuff. And so that was interesting, but it's also hard to vlog when it's super windy, because you think that you vlog something and then you go back and it's just staticky, or I look like I'm talking but you don't hear anything, which is pointless. So anyway, gonna get some lunch and get started on the day. In a gift store, and the two things that I found that are all the Old Bay like seasoning things, which I think are really cute. But then also they have a whole bunch of like NASA themed things, because right next to Chincoteague is Wallops Island, and they do like rocket launches and things like that, and that is one of the things that we actually plan to see while on this trip as well. This cute little old school phone booth in the store. But if you like Old Bay, or you know someone that likes Old Bay, there's a lot of just random cute Old Bay seasoning. Alright, so we're gonna go do a quick outdoor tour as I walk down to the pier. So this is their deluxe cabin, and so they have the little fire pit, the picnic table, big grill back here, patio with the chairs. And these are supposed to be able to hold a lot of people, not just a few. And then here, I believe, is the premium RV sites. And the reason why I remember that is because I remember them advertising it with having this like kind of cement patio here versus having like a grass patio fire pit. So you would just kind of back your RV into here, as these people have backed their RVs into there and over here. Picnic area, which literally is just a bunch of picnic tables and a bunch of little fire rings and fire pits. But across there, when we get close, I'll show you, well, you can see it, the lighthouse that we were at the other day. Big pit land for fire pits and things. Apparently they would normally have like big bonfires, but you know, hashtag COVID, a lot of things have changed, and you can rent kayaks or bring your own kayak. And so this is the kayak launch area over here. And at first I was like, wait a second, this just looks like a bunch of grass. But this is it. And so apparently the tide is low at the moment, which you can tell with all the mud, because generally this would just have a lot of water. But it has a little path to follow if you were kayaking. It's really nice. And lighthouse again. And these guys here, which we researched yesterday or the day before yesterday, are called laughing gulls. And they make a lot of noise. But they're very pretty. So I'm gonna say that some people probably stay here during the season, because this little area here we've passed a few times and they have it all nice and picked out. Gazebo, firewood stacks, stone tree trunk table here. Looks like a planted little garden around there. Looks like they've been here for a good little minute. I guess for throughout the season, because it does close, I believe, in October. From May to October is the season. This whole back row looks like more long-term camping. There's the geese and their little babies. They're so cute. I'm not gonna get too close because, you know, I don't need them running after me. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit, because, you know, I'm not coming too much closer, but I do want you guys to be able to see them. This one's really nice too. Whole patio set out here. Oh, they have a welcome sign, welcome to the Hickmans. And an outdoor little kitchen stovey thing. Says, I'm gonna assume with these people today, probably for the season. Let me tell you, this is the type of retired life I could live. Just have me go around places, camp outside, alternate between 30-day cruises. This is my kind of living. And now these are the smaller cabins, as you can tell by the size. Definitely not as big as the deluxe ones, which there's some over there. And they have their fire pits and little tables as well. And from what I remember from the website at the time, these little smaller cabins were the same price nightly as the safari tents I was showing the other day. And if you don't know what safari tents I was showing the other day, I will leave a playlist below so you can look at all of the camping videos from this particular time. That was a good walk around. I need to just get in here and fix things up. I actually had to move this because of the storm yesterday, so it's not as close as it was the other day, so that the pole line's gonna go further away. But we're gonna start on some games, and so I really need to clear out the stuff that's in there because there's a whole bunch of stuff, and set it up correctly. I love our board games. This is the one that I'm getting ready to set up. This is actually the newest game in the series of board games that we collect. And this is one that I have been looking at for a few years, like literally a few years. I do love a good board game, but I hate to buy a $50, $60 board game and then hate it. But finally I was like, you know what, we're going on this trip, it'll be fun, everyone will enjoy it, blah 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 blah, so let's do this thing. And so I will let you guys know what my thoughts are on this Ticket to Ride. I do think it's something that we're definitely going to enjoy, but that is the plan for the afternoon. Also, let me just look at some of the ones that we have. This is an oldie but goodie. If you've never played Sequence, it is such a good game. You can play it with 2 people, you can play it with 3 people, you can play it with 6 people. I don't remember how I found out about this game, but it was many years ago. So definitely, if you're looking for something Sequence, and then you know you gotta have your deck of playing cards and this. So I do enjoy Uno, but the other day I looked and saw this and was like, you know what, we can all try this. We can try this Uno flip thing. And so I will let you know what our thoughts are on this as well. So I think that I mentioned, and let me look around, I don't know what, oh, okay, it's changing. wanting to get the movie. I'm sorry that this is doing that, but I'm in the screen tent and the camera's being very funky about the background. But I mentioned wanting to get the movie about the town and the horse and so on and so forth. So I found it this morning on eBay for $3.68 with free delivery. Apparently it's from the Goodwill of Dayton, Ohio that's selling it. So I will have to let you guys know how the movie is. It's a very old movie from 1961. So it should be interesting. You can open it. So yeah, should be fun. Done. So I'm definitely going to give the Ticket to Ride game 2 thumbs up. I was about to say 3, but 2 thumbs up. There's a lot of playability in it, so you'll be able to play it a lot of different ways. I like the flexibility of having a lot of different people to play with. I will say, I'm gonna say, what age do I think that you'd be able to play youngest? Probably 6 or 7. Maybe not 6. Let's go with 8. Let's go with 8. You can start teaching. You can probably maybe start teaching around 8. So it's not necessarily a little kid's game, but definitely a fun game if you have a group of people together. So yes, it is actually cooler today. So we're going to set up a fire in a second and then play on the outside of the little screen tent to warm up a little bit and then try the Uno flip. And maybe even work on getting some food on the grill. However, it's still really windy, and so with it being really windy, I have to see. We have to see. So I'm currently sitting in our tent at the table, and I'll flip it over in a second so that you can see, but I am prepping stuff for dinner. I'm basically going to make foil packs. Foil packs you can make with almost anything is what I'm going to say, but just in case you don't get to see all of it, I'll tell you that there's potatoes, carrots, squash, yellow squash, zucchini, kielbasa, green pepper, and then I have some minced garlic, and I have butter to put in it just to give it a little extra pizzazz along with the seasoning. But I think that the butter was packed at the bottom of the cooler, and the way the cooler is set up, like, unless you want to get frostbite, just don't venture all the way deep down in there. So I'm just going to use olive oil in this case. But yeah, I'm going to watch some YouTube while nappings are happening, while I have some little time, and I'm going to chop up a whole bunch of stuff, get it ready, so when people are alive, we can go ahead and put them out there, probably close in the fire or on the grill. I haven't figured it out. And so this is actually a 4-foot table. I'm using 3/4 of it, I guess I would say. And so these are all the little things I was just mentioning that I'm gonna sit here and chop. This is just a little stand that I've had for forever to sit my phone on so I can be entertained while trying to chop up all these things for tonight. But that is dinner for the evening for sure. I have more peppers, and I'm probably just gonna chop it all up. Vast majority of it, not the whole bag of carrots, but vast majority of it. And this is actually a side view. So if you're looking from the side of our tent, there's a window here, there's a window on the opposite side. The door also opens all the way with the screen. And so I'm kind of like cross ventilating it this way. And I think I mentioned earlier that it's windy out. And so hence my being inside, just kind of chillaxing versus sitting out there getting it done. All right, I got a good YouTube video in, and I managed to cut all the things. So there's the peppers, the sausage, potatoes, zucchini, squash, carrots, and then this is some shrimp that was already seasoned before we got here. I will tell you that you can do these things in advance, especially this, that, and this. But that's one of the things that I just did not make time to do before I left. And so I happen to have some downtime today and said, you know what? I'm just gonna get it all done. So now I'm gonna throw it in the foil packages, add some seasoning. I only brought one seasoning here. I believe it's the Montreal steak seasoning, and throw a little bit of the garlic in there and call it a day. All right, so the foil packets are actually pretty big. You can see they're as long as this firewood here and the coals underneath. So I have 2 in there. They're Mondo size, so that's great, but we definitely cannot fit the other 2 that we have here, there's no coals or anything in there. They're just kind of just resting there until we are able to put them in here. But right now, this is what we're starting with. So the first two are ready. We just brought them in for eating, and I was going to show you what it looks like. One thing I should say, it would be great if we had smell-o-vision, because this smells amazing. 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 Oh, this is back in the tent, because I think right now it's about 50 something degrees out there. But yummy, yummy in our tummy. So all you really do is open it up, put it on a plate, eat it with a fork. I'm in the shadow of the light, so sorry guys. But yes, that's the point. Cooks up real nice and will taste great in your tummy. All right, here's a better view.